Welcome to Seven Trumpets Prepper, and in this video today I'm going to go over with you my list of the 10 most important preps every prepper should have to barter with post-collapse. There's no doubt about it, whether it's the US dollar, the yen, or the euro, collapse is coming eventually. Whether it's now or after the 7 trumpets of Revelation begin to happen, something is going to give, and people are going to have to get back to bartering. Now, with that said, I'm going to start that out with one of the most important barter items you can have right now as far as a prep goes, and that is precious metals. Whether it's gold, whether it's silver, or copper. Copper is extremely useful later because it's used in multitudes of things, especially electronics and things of that nature. Silver can be used as far as making antibiotics. So those things are extremely useful, as opposed to the fact that gold's hard to come by, and not only that, it's expensive if you can find it. So I would recommend copper as one of your preps, or silver if you can afford it right now, being that it's coming down. So I wanted to point that one out first, being that that is the current situation with the market. Secondly, ammunition. Within the past 6 months, ever since the situation that happened at Sandy Hook, and I'm not even going to get into that, 223, 7.62, and the 22s have been hard to come by. If you can get it now, you need to take advantage of it, because I feel like that there's going to be coming a time very soon that people are going to be taxed out of owning ammo. Before long, you could probably own a 105 howitzer artillery piece of equipment, but have fun trying to find the ammo for it. Okay? Now, next prep is that wind turbine that I just put up there right now. The thing about that is it's not just for alternative power. It's to pump water. And whether if you can put up a solar panel, a wind turbine, get a hand pump for your whale, anything you can do, you need to have a means where that you can get water not only for yourself, but to trade later. Because a lot of people are not prepping their water. They are not putting back even a means to purify their water, nor learn to know how to do it. And this is going to be a huge prep to barter later, is fresh water, people. Just the means to purify. It's going to be a huge prep. So that's something on the list. Alright. Now, I'll get to food in just a moment. But seeds to even grow food, okay? Most people might not even put back no food. At least get some seeds, okay? Because you can grow your own food. You can trade people the fresh grown food. Make sure it's heirloom, alright? Not only from a Bible perspective, not breaking the scripture, but from a fact that you can't get the seed to grow again or to trade more food later. You need to have heirloom seed so you get the seed back. This right here can grow an acre garden, alright? That's a lot of food, alright? So the fact of just having this laying around in a small space later is like having cans and cans or buckets and buckets of food, okay? So there you go. When a lot of starving people are looking for food, put them to work in your field. In exchange, they work a portion of the field, you get food, they get food. Hey, it can work out, alright? Next is food itself, alright? Put back the long-term food storage. Make sure that it's not got things in it that'll kill you later, okay? Like GMOs, the last thing you want to do is be getting sickness and cancers and all this stuff when hard times come and you can't get to a doctor because you ate terrible or contaminated food. Make sure it's good food, and then make sure to get some stuff that's long-term that temperature doesn't affect. That's something I'm trying to take into consideration, is because even if I didn't have the cellar, even if I don't have the air conditioning, I have a means to at least have a 5, a 10, 15-year food supply, because the temperature would diminish the long-term storage of it, but still it would last for an incredibly long time compared to the food that's on the expiration date at the store that's going to be gone very shortly thereafter. Okay? Now, next is power. Okay? Everybody wants power. Alright, after collapse, people will want that creature comfort of being able to turn on a light bulb so bad it will about kill them. It will drive people nuts to know that they can't turn on their TV no more. They can't flip on their, their lights in their house no more. It's going to send people back either A, to the Stone Age because they didn't even put a candle on the shelf, or to at least the 1700s where that, you barely got anything. Alright, so it is so important to put power back, because not only that, if you can do some power builds and stay in the 12-volt world, okay? If you could just do some power builds now, you could sell people power later by means of, they bring you food for you to charge their battery, or, I mean, there's so much that can be done with power. Power should be a huge prep for everyone. It should be something deeply on your mind to get done. And I'm not trying to preach the choir deal. I'm on mine all the time trying to do something extra, alternative energy wise, and keep it all 12 volts so that people around me, my neighborhood too, if something happened to me, everybody can keep it going. Keep it simple, but keep some power, all right? So you can trade later too. And small thing like this small solar panel later, might trade for a huge, huge trade out, because that'll at least get some people some lighting. All right? First aid, all right? Keep first aid supplies around and keep it fresh and new. A lot of people get surplus stuff. I'm not down for getting the surplus things. I think that it needs to be new, okay, if at all possible. Or if you got a friend at the hospital, that you get the extra goodies there, make sure to put that stuff back, because later people will need some critical medical supplies. I'm thinking IVs, staple guns, sutures, things like that, the hardcore stuff, not just, the grab and go, because people will desperately need that later. Antibiotics, and there you go. You can barter with them. And not to mention those antibiotics that I brought up before. You never know. You need to keep some for your fish. Don't forget that now. Check that video. All right. Gear. When it comes to gear, that is a very important prep to have, because if you can put some extra gear back, just something simple like a sleeping bag. Later, when somebody has lost their house, they've lost their tent, they've lost everything, getting this back, or getting a sleeping bag like what they had, close or something, anything to lay on that's comfortable, it's going to be like moving up to the Ritz-Carlton right away. All right, and they'll be willing to trade something to get that, okay? There's something that you might want, and they might obviously want this. There's an opportunity to trade, and it was just some extra gear you put back, and it ain't putting no hurt to you. Plus, if any of your gear does wear out, hey, you had an extra laying on the shelf, so right on, thumbs up on that. Later down the road, one of the greatest barters that can be traded is companionship. A lot of single people out there may be finding their partner whenever this time comes. There's going to be a lot of women that's going to need a good man. I'm not trying to talk be profane. There's a lot of people that it's going to finally hit them. You know what? I am better off if I find someone to love and someone to trust and work with. I'm doubling my survival chances. Okay, now I'm not saying, get online and go looking for a late night hot hookup. There's a lot of good places. I was trying to find some resource to share with you. It's like survivalistsingles.com. Check that out. That one is one that's clean, a clean website. And that way, for those of you, there's a lot of my friends that they're single and they want someone that is like-minded, not just someone to share their life with, but someone that shares the same values. And whether it's Bible-wise, whether it's prepping, and that's the places you need to look. You don't need to just be out here looking for anybody. You need to look in the area of lifestyle that the same person's going to be of that mindset. Now, the very last one, and I think is the most important of all these, is skills exchange. Later down the road, the best skill set that I have to exchange with people is I'm a walking utility company. I'm not trying to put myself up on a pedestal. Later down the road, if I have component A, solar panel, windmill, something to make a wind turbine out of, anything, and then I have access to where batteries are and things like that, I put A with B and an inverter, they've got power, okay? A lot of people do not know how to do certain things. Farming, alternative energy, security. You can swap skill sets. This is where, forming a mag, coming together as a group, plays in. And these are the top 10 preps in my mind and heart that I think are the most important for people, because later down the road these things are going to be the most critical. Whether it's the 7 trumpets of Revelation, the collapse of our society as we know it, the collapse of the dollar, martial law, whatever comes our way, one day down the road people are going to have to get back to the foundation and get away from the fiat dollar bill. We're going to have to get back to the point where services rendered for services paid, item for item. It's going to have to get back to reality, okay? You can't sit around and collect a free paycheck from Uncle Sam no more. And for those of us that have worked ourselves to death, we're not going to have to worry about did we get what we put into it. Everyone is going to earn what they get by the sweat of their brow when the hard times come. And you better learn to barter now, and you better get some of these things. So I hope this is a help to you, and I hope it inspires you to put some of these things back and get you thinking. So until we see you again here at Seven Trumpets Prepper Channel, I hope you have a most blessed day in Yahushua's name.